Darlings, how are you doing? Another day, another drama filled day in the world of Hollywood and movies and stars and directors and the likes. So, anywho, I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of the 2022 movie called Don't Worry, Darling. Anyway, won't get too much into that, but that movie was a drama filled. Not the actual movie, but outside of the movie. That's where the drama was. Anywho, so it seems like some of our TikTok investigators, our TikTok Sherlock Holmes, are unlocking potential drama between Blake Lively, the protagonist in the movie, and also a producer in the movie, and her partner in the movie, Justin Baldoni, who happens to also be the director. Ay, when the director and the producer don't get along, allegedly. Mm-mm-mm. Anywho, so this movie is an adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling drama or romance novel called the same name. It Ends With Us, which again stars Blake Lively. But the soap opera surrounding a rumored rift among the cast, the director, and wait, possibly Deadpool? Oh, that's right. Blake Lively is married to Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool. So now this is according to an article from Vox. The film's press is already on like I guess a few days on or what have you, but yeah, mm, leading up to the actual premiere. Well, let's go take a closer look. Okay. So no one in the cast or like other people involved, like sources, I should say, have commented on the gossip directly. But of course, the internet is going to have a ball because that's the internet. So apparently, this all started with the New York premiere on August 6th, when fans had noticed that the two leading stars, Lively and Baldoni, weren't photographed on the red carpet together, and they weren't doing interviews together either. So initially, the signs of trouble pointed to the director, who is Baldoni, but the narrative started to shift when a quote from Lively about her husband Ryan Reynolds' involvement in the film's script went viral. So on Friday, insiders are confirming that the to the Hollywood Reporter that there was a power struggle of some sort between the two parties, the director, the producer, and her husband, when it came to the film's final cut. And at the same time, the remarks from the director praising Lively, as the lead cast member, while also hinting at a creative overhaul. It's kind of like a veiled jab, if you may. I am just saying. So, who is actually Justin Baldoni? And does the cast actually hate him? Well, he is from the hit show, CW show Jane the Virgin. He played Raphael, the hunky father of Jane's child. So in 2019, he co founded the production company Wayfarer Studios with billionaire entrepreneur Steve Saravitz. Baldoni has directed and produced a few movies under his Wayfarer banner, including the teen cancer romance 5 Feet Apart in 2019 and the 2020 Disney musical drama Clouds. In 2022, it was also reported that Saravitz or Saravitz invested 125 million into the independent production company. So even with all that power though, you might still be wondering like why this newish director was selected to direct this massive film about a woman's experience with domestic abuse. So the answer seems to partially lie in his extracurricular work. He is a vocal feminist ally, discussing women's issues, or more accurately, men's issues, um, which apparently has been a huge, if not defining part of his brand. So in 2017, he launched a panel series called A Man Enough through Wayfair, featuring actors Matt McGorry and Javier Munoz, exploring, in his words, quote, what it means to be a man, unquote. Also in 2021, he published a memoir titled Man Enough? Question mark. Undefining my masculinity, about his journey overcoming the expectations of traditional manhood. Later, he launched a podcast of the same name with co hosts Jamie Heath and former Vox political correspondent Liz Plank. Like McGorry, he's one of several self identifying male feminists who emerged during the Trump era and gained both praise for their activism and criticism for a male centered, quote unquote, mansplaining approach to that activism. Anyway, um, that just seemed appropriate that he would be at the helm of this film about domestic abuse. He sent a letter to the author of the novel about his love for the book and his production company, wanting to be a part of it or what have you. Uh, Blake Lively later on was brought on as an executive producer, and from there, it seemed like it just kind of descended into chaos. Um, at least from what it looks like from the press tour, because he's been noticeably kind of isolated from not just his co-star, but like the rest of the entire cast. He poses by himself on the red carpet or with people not involved in the film, and he gives solo interviews. His co-host was also at the premiere but was not photographed with him. And both of them did not respond to Vox's requests for comment. Now, moving on to Blake Lively, she's been doing press, obviously, with her co stars Jenny Slate and Brandon Sklenar and the author Colleen Hoover. Um, but there was really no mention of the director, who is Justin Baldoni. Further, a video of a Slate premiere interview where Blake Lively had given an indirect response to a reporter's questions about working with Baldoni as a boss and screen partner. Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting because it seems like the cast is kind of divided with like one side Blake Lively and the rest of the cast. And then there's Justin Baldoni. I mean, for somebody who is a self professed or confessed um, man feminist, he seems to have, at least from the optics of things, fallen out with nearly all the women in the movie, or at least the people that are involved. It's very odd. And supposedly, this also is due to Blake Lively's husband, Deadpool, aka Ryan Reynolds, supposed involvement as, according to Blake Lively, her husband works on everything she does. And that quote, he's all over this film. Now, he's not credited as a writer or a producer or any of the sort, but I suppose maybe the issue came from the creative control of things, right? Because you have the director, who is also the male protagonist. You have the executive producer, who is also the female protagonist. And then the producer's husband, who happens to also be a huge star on its own, you know, kind of sharing his input and maybe putting a little too much weight behind that input um, may just cause a rift between, creative heads. Because, for example, the director wants their film to go a certain way, and the feel of the film or whatever have you. And then you have like outsiders not necessarily involved with your work, but are unwilling to just be like a background person where they don't really have to share their input, they don't have to collaborate, and then multiply that by like that person adding significant weight to their opinions and the way they feel how the um, film should go or the story should go. That I would say would definitely cause a rift. I would say. But again, this is just something that is being talked about. Obviously, has not been confirmed. And I don't know, is it going to help the film have more viewers? Is it going to negatively affect the film? I don't know. You know, how in Hollywood or anywhere else they say like bad publicity is still good publicity. I don't know. But uh hmm. I mean, there's not very many stories that come out of like behind the scenes drama in films. Typically, before that even gets into like somebody's screen, that's already been like stamped out by like publicists and everybody else involved. Like you gotta play nice type of thing. But hey, look, until we get some sort of confirmation from these people, or at least until they start playing nice, maybe just maybe there's a little bit of weight behind this kerfuffle. Couldn't think of any other word, but kerfuffle. Anyway, darlings, I hope that they figure it out and I hope they do well because, the people behind the scenes, aka the little people that you don't see in the movie, they need to stay um, working. I mean, it's a small industry, of course. So, and I'm sure they're like, thinking, oh my gosh, I hope that this doesn't affect, our livelihood. Because obviously the big stars are the big stars, right? It's not going to be like a big worry for them if like they don't get a check like next month because they already have like a huge check. Now, for others who are relying on their checks to come monthly without delay and or every 2 weeks without delay or weekly without delay, yeah, that can be an issue. Just saying. Just saying, people. Anywho, that's all we have for that one. Darlings, remember you are all kinds of fabulous. So try to remember that at all times and to leave grace for others. And to also remember to journey in gratitude. I shall see you all, darlings, later. Enjoy your weekend. To leave for now. Bye.